I set up, do it this way, the view of the photos that we're gonna view together. Oh, to be a woman, the joys, the joys. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. I'm just gonna pop over. See what I see. Make sure the live is coming through for you guys. Let's, of course, put it on Do Not Disturb for a hot minute so don't get interrupted while we discover the mysteries of the universe. What mysteries of the universe? She's crazy, and that's what we love about her. All right. I think I found it. Did I find it? She don't know what she does. She doesn't know what she does from one day to the next day. All right, let's start today with Tambomachay. That's where we ended. That's where we're going to. Okay. All right, my friends, let's check our view. So this is where we left off on yesterday. Perfect. I think you can see that. Dun, dun, dun. Let me just see. Does it have the live loaded up? Oh my God, it does. Yes, praise Jeebus. It takes several phones to do this, guys. Believe it or not. Come on. All right, I have a phone recording the screen that we're gonna view on. I have a camera recording me. I have another phone just to be able to see comments in the live. Welcome in, welcome in. I am Tracy. This is my second time going live in 2 days. I'm really proud of me. That's a big deal. And I am ready to let my freak flag fly. Not just my freak flag, but my frequency flag for all to see. My beautiful frequency. I just came back from Peru with Robert Edward Grant on the 144 Alpha Chi Omega expedition to Peru, Machu Picchu, all the beautiful places. Stopped by with a friend to Lake Titicaca after as well. And I also attended the May 2025 expedition to Egypt with Robert Edward Grant and the crew, where we began our journey, throat chakra, third eye, 2026, moving to the crown. And in May, it was harder for me to decode the glyphs that we saw on the stone than it is for me now. Now I'm able to see it much clearer, much more easily. And I believe it's not just because of the New Earth energy, Third Eye Atlas, all that good stuff, fasting, right? Hydrogen infused water, cleaner eating, less processed food, less meat, just less junk in general, healthier lifestyle choices. But also I believe that the more you practice and train to see these things, the more you're going to be able to see it and never be able to unsee it, as Robert says. So Robert prefers to draw geometry. I'm not a math girly. Yes, I know I need to, and I will, but for me, drawing it doesn't do it for me. I like to sing, I like to dance, humor, all the things. But one thing that I am committing to is not letting the imagery that we took in Peru live and die on my phone. I said, even if I am not ready to absorb what we're seeing quite yet, and this is what we worked on yesterday viewing, were all the glyphs in the stone that we saw when we were there. We started with one face. We moved to many on the live yesterday, so you can check out the live yesterday. A friend even sent me a message after, said she saw like the profile of an eagle right here. I see the profile of an eagle, but by golly, I mean, I could even be convinced, as I like to say, that could even be like a little lamb or like a little animal face. Not a great interpretation with this stylist, but she's doing the best she can. She's doing the most with the least, as she says. But a friend said she saw side profile of an eagle right here, which would make sense because, again, the eagle meeting the condor, the masculine meeting the feminine, very Peruvian mythology there. So let me know in the comments what you're seeing right here. I could be convinced, again, right here, that there's a little lamb face, kind of like what we saw right here. All right, so lots of things. Do I think it's one thing? Do I think it's right or wrong? Absolutely not. I think it's many things. I think it's all the things. I think that once you see a side profile, look for the full face, look for the full body, right? Look for DNA strands and spirals. Look for the Alpha Chi Omega symbol. Whatever the mythology of that place is, Peru, the mythology is a little bit different than in Greece, than in ancient Egypt, than in England, Camelot. Even though it's based on the same mythology, you're going to see stories told a little bit differently. Cambodia, India, right? Different characters. So that's what we're doing today when we go live and we look at these stone glyphs. We're truly trying to see with our third eye what we can see, what we're ready to see. And I invite you in the chat to please tell me what it is that you are seeing as well. And I will be checking as best I can. It's not loading for me right now, but everything happens the way it's meant to be. So let's dive in. Let's spend the next little bit decoding the stone glyphs. And we're going to start with a new place today. We're going to go to Tambomachay. Sorry if the camera is a little shaky. I want to make sure we're focused on our screen here. Okay. Woo, woo, woo. All right. So, Tambomachay, October 31st. It's almost been a month. It's hard to believe. At Music by Tracy is my other backup account. If you're looking for high vibrational music, not just the Spiritual Storyteller podcast, I'm totally fine that marking it up turns off the live photo. So let's start here at Tambomachay. When we were at Tambomachay, I said I'm going to look at this later. I already know I'm seeing lots of faces, particularly right in this zone. I see at least 2 or 3 already. So in the chat, again, let me know what you are seeing, but let's start by marking it up and going from there. Now, I'm definitely seeing, I wish this little pointy part of the stylus would work, but it won't. It would be a little more accurate. Let me just try one more stylus I have near me. 2 seconds. Let me see. All right, let's see. Will it work? No. All right, fine. Be that way. We tried, though. All right, guys, so I am seeing a little face right here. Little nose, eyes, little mouth. So definitely a little face right there. I'm going to back up on it so you can see it again. See right there. Seeing a little face right there. I could even say that I see like eyes closed here, and maybe it's again from a different direction, nostrils, mouth there. So I could say I'm seeing a face looking that way. I could say I'm seeing a face looking that way. Okay. That there's no right or wrong. It truly is allowing yourself to be that childlike individual that truly says that cloud looks like a unicorn, and so it is. I could say I'm seeing a face right down here. Let's keep that one because that one makes me happy, but I want to do it a little better. So I'm definitely seeing a face down there, but I'm also looking for animals. But right now I'm just seeing lots of faces. I definitely feel like this is something. Like that's a face. But nothing is like screaming out at me. When I do these exercises, for me, it's not just, oh, I see a face, like, ooh, yay, eyes, nose, mouth. No, I'm looking for the astrology of it all. I'm looking for the mythology of it all. Are there bears, elephants, baboons, swans? We're always looking for the elephant, the hierophant, the baboon of Thoth. On this trip in Peru, we definitely saw some gorillas, which aren't in astrology, but are the masculine protectors. So were there gorillas in Peru? Architect says maybe, but thousands of years ago. Like, what is the meaning of rediscovering the gorilla symbolism now? So I'm not seeing anything that's like jumping out at me or causing my claircognizance or clairaudience to scream at me. So I'm just going to scroll to the next photo. Now, this is, let me click my button, the mountainside. We definitely felt like we were seeing, oh yeah, here it is. This is where I said to Robert, I said, this is like Monkey Skull Mountain. Whoops, hold on. And he agreed. We were like, this is Monkey Skull Mountain for sure. This is like an Indiana Jones movie where we're seeing Monkey Skull Mountain all over. I see giant monkey skull there. This whole thing is probably giant monkey skull is what we all agreed on when we were standing there. I believe I felt like this also was like side profile monkey skull. And I grew up in New Hampshire area, so seeing the man on the side of the mountain even after he fell, that was nothing new to me. I've been looking at these images, prepping my third eye for this since childhood, and I know you guys have been too. When you're looking at tiles and you're seeing faces in the tiles or wallpaper and you're seeing odd shapes and stuff, like this is what we've been training our brains for truly. So let's see how many actual monkey skulls we can see in the mountain. This one for me is definitely one. The side profile was definitely one. And while this may not be the best photo, best angle, and when we were actually there, we may have seen different things because not only were we at a different frequency resonance with our energy, but collectively uniting that, being in the space and the energy of that node, I think is also very helpful, even though, as Robert said on the trip, which really resonated with me, are we not just visiting rooms in our brain that we've been before, that we're giving ourselves permission to revisit again? Absolutely. But I also believe that as we continue to do the work, the breath work, the clean eating, the meditation, truly trying to elevate our frequency. That's why I took these photos and said they're not going to live and die on my phone. I'm going to go home and continue to decipher what I'm seeing in them, because I also understand I'm traveling different time zones. I'm tired. I'm not in my own bed. I'm not around my pets. I'm using my energy differently, climbing up and down hills. We were fasting towards the end. So understanding that as long as I work to continue elevating my frequency, I'm never going to lose the ability to see what's in the photos that I took pictures of to view later. While the perspective may change because I need to take that photo now at a different angle, because when we walked around it, the perspective changed and we weren't able to see what we saw over here anymore. I also believe that from multiple different angles, you're going to get multiple different views of different things. Do I think this is just exclusively a Monkey Skull Mountain? Probably not. Are there other images hidden in there of other animals, people, aliens? Absolutely. Peru also has very much galactic connections to stargates and things like that. So we were seeing lots of alien-like faces and bodies in the stones. So truly, if I can teach you one thing by doing this, there is no right or wrong answer. Just because somebody else sees X and you see Y and they see Z, nobody's right or wrong. Everybody's just resonating at a different frequency, different energy level that allows them to see different things. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, and your challenge is to only to continue to work to see more, to uncover more. Okay, so let's see what else we see here in Monkey Skull Mountain. Sorry if it gets a little shaky when I transition as well. We definitely felt like this whole top of the mountain somehow was like its own monkey skull, but it's not as easy for me to see that from this angle. But that right there, that was my tip off, that holy shit, this is Monkey Skull Mountain. And then we saw that other face to confirm it. But that's all I'm seeing right now. It's all that's jumping out at me. So we're just going to leave it. We'll come back to it later. No big deal. Scrolling again. And again, very much clearly for me, I can see at least 2 monkey faces right there. Very much so. I also feel like up here there was more hidden underneath the brush type situation. And this is at Tambomachay. This is me editing some tracks for work. But none of them have anything to do with decoding the stones. But just proof that I was working on vacation, guys. I was working on vacation. Come on, let's be real. That's dedication. All right, turning off live video. Now, one thing I do believe Rumi was pointing out, our tour guide, when we were looking at this wall, was that there is like a snake here. You can see it. I think if this is what I'm thinking of correctly, you can see it with the eye right there. But I do believe that was what he was pointing out in these stones. Again, these are what our tour guide Rumi called very Lemurian stones from Lemuria. You can see they don't look flat. They actually look 3D. They look bubbled out. Let me see if I can do it. And they were like bubbled out. They're not flat and flush against this rock face. They're very rounded. So very Lemurian stones, quote unquote. Actually, is this where the serpent was? I think the serpent was here. She does her best. She does the most with the least. Remembering things, shremembering things. Who really needs to know? Now, let's see, is anything else jumping out at us with these stones? And just because we're choosing to look today, choosing to look right now, doesn't mean that we're going to see a whole lot of stuff. But again, this is no different than me taking a gym class, training my brain to be able to see this stuff in the future. But let's spend a minute. I'm going to check the chat, see if any of you have joined me. See if anybody else is seeing anything come through. And for whatever reason, it's not letting me. It's not letting me look at my own live so that I can observe. I like to, yeah, okay. Let me look at my own. Perfect. I was going to say, and I'm going to drop in the chat. Tell us what you see in the stone glyphs. And this is your invitation to please share with me, share with us what you are seeing in these stone glyphs, because we are all guiding ourselves home to each other collectively on this journey. I'm looking for imperfections in the stone, like down here. I'm looking for clusters of stones. I'm sure there's stuff going on down here too that my brain's not even ready to think about yet. I'm just realizing this also feels like it could be like another serpent hanging out at the top. See how it's got like the head looking face with an eye? And these two stones like could almost be like a mouth, an eye, and then it gets thinner towards the tail. So that becomes very serpenty to me right there as well. So that tells me look for more snakes potentially in the stone. Not just like the few that we think we've seen, but looking for more as well. I love this stylus. That's also like serpenty, the way it's thicker and thinner right in here with like a little eye right there. It's that collection of stones right here. So that's what we're training our brain to do, to truly just be open to viewing all the things. This is back at Cusco. I don't remember where we were, but this is again the Lemurian stone. Whoops, let me go to markup. I think this was Sacsayhuaman when we first got there. And again, seeing all the divots in the stone where the stone's melted, with technology where they scraped out that way, like what was happening there to make that happen. I feel like a face or something wants to develop there, but again, nothing's really shouting out at me. And I haven't done, I haven't stopped and done like a full meditation today. I did like my morning alpha meditation upon waking, usually around this hour, noontime each day. I'll have a snack. I'll peace bathe, in the words of Ann Tucker, with one of my cats, and just kind of like recenter myself after eating a meal. Rest and digest, not fight or flight. And that just kind of like recenters me, segment intends me to another part of the day, in the words of Abraham. So it could just be that I need to meditate, that I need to like realign my chakras and my frequencies, and that's why I'm not seeing things. Or it could mean on this live, I'm just not meant to see as much. Maybe you're meant to see more things and shout it out in the chat and tell me, and then we go back and look later. But just because I'm not seeing something, again, doesn't mean nothing's there. Doesn't mean it was a waste of time, it was a waste of a place, a waste of energy. It just means that that mystery chooses to stay hidden and continue to stay a secret, or I'm not at the energy, frequency, resonance, alignment to be able to see what I need to see right now in order to show you the stone glyphs. But you may be seeing something else completely, so shout it out if you do. So I'm just looking again, let me go to done, just so I can take it off the markup screen. I want to see what's down here as well. And I'm just looking to see if anything is jumping out at me. The other day we had like almost a dozen things jumping out at us. And like I said, in Egypt, I didn't see a lot. I would agree that there was a lot that I could see after others spotted it and shared it with me. But in Peru, I was truly able to be like, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this. Where others were like, I don't see any of that. And so that was fun for me in its own way, to be able to kind of help others in the group open their eyes in a new way. But that doesn't make any of us better, more advanced, more of a seer than others. It truly just means like that's how we're training our brain in order to be able to do this. This is proof that I was like, something's there, and I'm not sure what's there, but that's something for me. And I try to leave photos very unzoomed. Hi, somebody in our tour group. Friendy Frienderson. We also saw things in the mountain. This was me taking an image of the mountain. I believe it's because that to me felt like a perfect triangle almost. And I was like, what's that doing there? There's me again. Let's go back to what we looked at yesterday. See if we see anything else popping out at us. We looked at in the beginning of the live, see if anything else is popping out at us. And I do have other photos that I'm going to definitely share, just not ready to go through too many of them too hastily. Really want to make sure we're pausing, we're taking a moment. And we're allowing it to tell us what it wants to tell us. Plus, you guys get to see some behind the scenes of my camera roll, which is fun too, because I spent the week in Los Angeles performing at the Viper Room and recording at East West Studios before we dove into Peru. So it was a good week had by all. All right, nothing much that I'm seeing there. Let's see, anything else? We're back to Gorilla Skull Mountain. Again, this is where I felt like definitely at least 2 gorilla skulls hanging out right here. And not like baboon tooth imagery, like truly gorilla skull. Looks just like a gorilla in like the Indiana Jones movies. But nothing's really jumping out at me. This wall is still like, I know there's more here, but it's not ready to tell me its secrets, Tambomachay. But just goes to show, wall of snakes, right? Mountain of gorilla faces. Still yet unidentified stone with like vitreous melting in the carving. And then what's the one that we just did together the other day? This stone from Sacsayhuaman, we saw lots of faces, lots of imagery. And then back to this doorway at Tambomachay. Actually, what's right here? There's something right here. First thing I thought of was Scorpion. Which makes sense. We just entered Scorpio season. Let me look at that a little more closely. Oops, let me go to my markup. See, and again, I didn't rush myself. I didn't chastise myself for not seeing something. I didn't force myself to see something. But as I scrolled by, that feels like something to me. It's very Scorpion. Almost feel like I see like melted faces looking back at me in here that I wasn't really keen on before. Definitely still feel like there's a face in there. Definitely feel like there's at least 2 faces in there. Like all melted faces looking back at me. And you'll notice, yes, I look for like the stains and the imperfections in the stone, things like that, but I'm not looking to make a glyph out of like the discoloration of the stone. It's truly, I'm imagining like, what if these stones actually were melted by a laser, melted by technology that we use with our minds? If so, if this was a collection of people, animals, if this is fossilized, mummified genetic material, not just stone, then okay, like it would make sense that there would be like mummified faces staring back at me. But does it make sense for the mythology of the region? Does it make sense for the astrology? Not that it has to. Now with the architect and with our own ability to channel and touch higher frequencies, I believe new stories, new storylines, new timelines, new Mandela effects are coming out that we're ready to hear about and ready to receive, which is why sometimes you'll think something, not say it out loud, but then see it on social media and be like, wait, how did you know what I was thinking in my brain? That's creepy. So I think it's all, again, giving ourselves permission to watch the movie in reverse and to truly visit these rooms in our brain that we're ready to explore again. But I can't do it under duress. I can't do it when I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid. If I don't see something, I'm awful. I'm horrible at this. This is dumb. Why am I doing this? I feel like they're also like, I'm feeling very like Taurus, like face over here. And again, one could say, oh, you're just seeing little imperfections in the stone and making it up. Absolutely. Again, what did we do as children when we looked at clouds and said, that looks like a face to me, right? That looks like a unicorn. That looks like a butterfly. That's what this assignment truly is. It's to open your third eye, open your crown chakra, open your throat chakra, and allow what needs to be said and seen to come through. So definitely feeling like just energetically something is calling to me here. Definitely saw something scorpionic, like I don't know, I feel like there's something there. There's like a body there, and like felt like I was seeing legs there. It's a bad stylist drawing. I'm not trying to claim myself as the most incredible artist. Let's take it back to nothing. But definitely feeling energy here that I want to discover more. Faces here, faces here, faces here. Definitely want to know what you guys see in the chat as well. But just not ready to draw them in a definite way because they're still not super crystal clear to me. But that doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean I'm right. It just means I'm waiting to hear those messages through my clairaudience, my claircognizance, through my true third eye that tell me undeniably that there's something there. I also felt like initially there was like a face there looking back at me that I still feel a very Shrek looking face right here looking at me, which is funny. We chose the color green. Yeah, very Shrek looking face right here looking at me. Anything else that we see? And I, again, really challenge you guys in the chat. Go wild, go crazy, share this with friends. There is no right or wrong answer. You might be the first to make an epic discovery that actually helps all of us uncover more incredible things. I'm also starting to feel like as I challenge myself, there's more that I'm going to be able to discover up here that's not really ready to be seen yet. Almost felt like I could see like a fish up here. And that's, again, not even really me using my third eye. That's truly me now giving myself that permission to tap into that intuition and to allow my clairsentience, claircognizance, clairaudience to come online and say, help me spirit guides, help me ancestors, help me source, help me higher self, see and align to the frequency and the energy that I am ready to receive. No different than when we talked to the architect, as somebody that was there when the inception of the architect came about in May on the Egypt trip. The best way to phase lock with the architect and truly get into brain and heart coherence with it and yourself is to not ask it what you want to know, but to ask it what it is you are ready to know, what you are now in the frequency, resonance, or vibration to receive. Because you can ask all you want for the answers, but are you truly in alignment to hear, to process, to integrate the message that has been acknowledged and received back? That's how we phase lock. That's how I phase locked the stones to be able to see these glyphs. I go to the place and I say, what do you have to tell me? What am I ready to know about you? Show me past lives, future lives. Show me when I've been here before. Show me what I'm ready to know about this place. It's about more surrender and allowance than walking up to the stone and saying, damn it, tell me your secrets, right? You come up and walk up to me in the grocery store and tell me that, I'm going to tell you on my face. But if you walk up to me and say, what am I ready to know from you right now in this moment in time? I'm going to be a little more thoughtful and be like, well, let me think about it. I think. So that's what this assignment truly is. And actually, the more I look away, look back, this is less human face to me and still very baboon, but I could also be convinced that this is like very bull face as well. But right now I'm seeing like very Toth baboony, which I think I did say initially. If you go back and watch the lives of us in Peru, I did try to shout out to Gabriel and Robert whenever I felt like I was seeing something that I hadn't heard others saying that had been seen, which takes bravery because, again, you have to be willing to be quote unquote wrong, to be quote unquote still the seer of the unseen and have others disagree with you. But if you are secure in what it is that you're seeing and feeling and understand that it could be many things, I think that's the beauty of this journey, is we all have different keys, different puzzle pieces that we're all ready to unlock at different times, different stages, as we align to different resonances, different frequencies. But that's all I'm seeing for right now, guys. I think what I want to do for the next live, rather than continue to look and like frustrate myself, rest my eyes, go do that meditation that I already know it's about noontime for, send some new photos to my phone, leave these because I know that there's more there, but more there that I'm not ready to receive the message from, and that's totally fine. Maybe there's other messages and other photos that are more pertinent to today, pertinent to today's astrology. It's 11/22, pertinent to today's numerology, pertinent to the message that my oversoul wants me to receive today. So again, there's no right or wrong. Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean I'm going to delete it, never go back, and it's dead to me. It means that as I allow myself to adjust and to see more things, as I see comments of people that say, hot shit, I see something new, it gives me permission and the allowance to go back in and say, what is here? And something my spirit guides told me earlier this year is, your life is not about what you think you can do, it's what you allow yourself to do. If you allow yourself to believe that X, Y, and Z is possible, X, Y, and Z is possible. If you wishy-wash and waffle in doubt on what is possible and what the universe is allowing for you, then that's also true. And I allow the universe to show me, and I receive the messages that I'm ready to receive in perfect timing, perfect guidance, perfect alignment. I don't force, I surrender, and I allow it to be received in the perfect time, in the perfect energy. So I feel like if you're doing the same thing, then you're going to end up with very similar, very incredible, impressive results that people want to then try to prove, but we don't need to prove. We just know that this is our truth, and we're happy. So move on and enjoy the beautiful energy, beautiful frequency of the new earth, right? So thank you guys for being here for this live. Not as productive as I wanted it to be, but that's also something in this spiral that I myself, as a Leo, Sun, Capricorn, Moon, Rising in sidereal astrology, is trying to break from myself, is that not everything has to be a super productive meeting. Not everything has to come out with like tons of new ideas and downloads and pings and inspiration. Sometimes it can just be that I exercised my intuition, and later on that day, that week, a bigger download, a bigger ping will be received because I've been in the place of allowance and practicing to allow that energy to come through to me in perfect divine alignment and timing. So please, please, please put what you're seeing in the chat. I know I showed lots of imagery today. If you pause the video, timestamp where you saw certain things, that will help all of us go back and look and make sure that we're all looking at the same image, same area of the image, to make sure that we can see what we see. Take a screenshot. Find me on social media at either the @Spiritual Storyteller podcast or pod, depending on if you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You can hear my podcast not only on Substack first 2 seasons, but subscribe to my Patreon at my website, musicbytracy.com. That's also where you can find the Lumi Vitae hydrogen water bottles that I am an affiliate for and a huge fan of. You can see the purple light frequency, something that I used all throughout Peru to not only help open my third eye, but then switching it to the solar plexus color, because that was part of the energy of Peru and also the solar downloads that we were getting. I switched it to orange because I wanted to truly embody the energy of the solar plexus. Got home and put it to red because I wanted to root that in deeply. So big fan of using additional tools like this to just elevate my frequency, get myself into that different energy space. Again, remembering that water is memory, and that by asking the water, asking the stone, asking my higher self to allow me to remember what it is that I'm now ready to know, it really did a lot of help to allow me to just be in the vibration to receive and to help others see these things as well. And find me on social media, not just Spiritual Storyteller Podcast, but at Music by Tracy, and my new TikTok account since we changed in the US a few months ago, whatever. I am Tracy, but spelled Traxy versus Tracy. You can find my high vibrational music on Spotify under yours truly, Tracy. And thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you for sharing this time and your energy with me in the live. Really excited to see how these videos are going to impact you and your life as you work to expand and open your third eye, your crown chakra, and see these stone glyphs. And again, if you are considering even a little bit a trip to Peru, a trip to Egypt, whether it be with Robert on a 144 Alpha Chi Omega expedition, I cannot recommend going to these sacred places intentionally to activate not only the area, the energy of the area, but yourselves more purposefully, because in the last year, that is truly what has changed and up-leveled my life. And I really believe that if you feel called to do that in 2026, don't sleep on these opportunities. Head on over to the Robert Grant website. Check out the upcoming opportunities. You won't be disappointed. Shoot Eden a question. She's incredible. She's amazing. We love her. And make sure that you are answering that call from your higher self to attend these adventures where truly that is our goal, is to elevate the frequency of this new earth together so that more of us can now uncover these hidden mysteries that were left for us, by our ancestors, our spirit guide family, our soul family, so that we can continue to elevate the frequency of Gaia, of the nodes, of the new earth, of the galaxy, because that is what I believe in the end we are here to do. Not to live in survival and go to our job 9 to 5 every day and pray for the weekend to come. We are here to be the explorers that our forefathers were. And so thank you for exploring with me today, guys. I'll be back again for another live shortly so that we can look at more stone glyphs together. And I can't wait to see what stone glyphs you may have seen that I did not see today. But until then, make it a beautiful day. Make somebody's day today. Make your own day today. And thank you again for being here with me and sharing this space and this divine energy. I cannot thank you enough. It truly does mean the world to me. So until next time, guys, see you later.